Blain Herman, who's standing by with Dr Ramneek Aluwalia, the Country Director for Higher Education for the HIV/AIDS program. Blain, a very good afternoon to you. Certainly this 21st International AIDS Conference will be hoping that they will inspire new ideas in the fight against HIV.
The world's top diplomat, who you just heard now, UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, will want that. Remember, it's his last HIV/AIDS International Conference. His term is ending soon, so he will want concrete, decisive action being taken here and carried forward and implemented. I guess that's very important, the implementation of whatever happens right here in Durban. Let's talk youth and stats now, and HIV prevalence rates amongst females between the ages of 15 and 24 was found to be 4 times higher than that of their male counterparts. And the UN AIDS actually found out that about 2,500 females in that same age group was being infected every week here in South Africa. So indeed, the youth is very much at risk. Let's bring in our guest now, Dr Ramneek Aluwalia. He's the Country Director for HIV/AIDS. The program is very, very vital. It's dealing with higher education, it's dealing with students, it's dealing with those people that are high risk. But in an age where there's unprecedented healthcare innovation, why are we still seeing these numbers?
It's simple, it's very unfortunate that South Africa is a nation where, as you rightly said, 2,500 young girls become infected HIV/AIDS. We are a nation where 1,000 new cases come every day. Now, if we see where are those new cases coming from, the new infection is between the age group of 15 to 24. Now, where are they? In universities, in colleges, in high schools, the youth outside, in communities. And one of the risk factors is multiple partnerships. We've seen 41% of our students, young people, change partners in 1 year. 56% only use condoms in their last sex. So low condom uptake, transactional sex, the Blesser syndrome. 14% of our young girls get involved in transactional sex. And that's been one of the most causative agents. Drugs and alcohol, a massive drugs and alcohol that lives into the lives of the young people, the unbound freedom from the family. And that's the age which we need to control. So I think that's where the challenge is.
This is indeed a key population. I know a recent survey that you guys did found that 30% of students and staff alike in higher education didn't realize that there's no cure for AIDS, and that's worrying, isn't it, especially in higher education?
I think as much as we think it's higher education or it's schools, we've got knowledge levels, but sometimes we are missing out, and we always say there's a fatigue in AIDS information, but there's never a fatigue, because you need to understand your youth of what information you need to transfer to the youth. For example, you rightly said 30% had no clue about that HIV can be cured through ARVs. The others one comes up and says, okay, I've got HIV positive, let me go do a circumcision, because if I remove the skin, my HIV will go away. Others come and say, if we ejaculate outside, there's no HIV. There are simple, minute things that we probably need to make our youth understand. And I think that's where our next intervention needs to go. Speak to the youth the way youth wants.
Exactly. Are we using the tools that youth have in order to communicate more awareness? Are we using social media enough and adequately enough in order to get this message across?
So I'll give you an example. 120. So we started a program with radio journalists, with yourself, people like yourself. We felt that if the minister speaks on the television, or I'm speaking right now, maybe youth is not attracted. You're driving a car, you're listening to a radio, suddenly another music comes, or a minister speaking on HIV, you change the channel. Why not let journalists speak to the youth in the way youth can listen? You know a way of how to listen to speak to the youth. So we got 122 radio journalists last year, trained them on HIV, trained them on youth issues, on drugs and alcohol, gender-based violence. So in a campus like Potchefstroom, where we have white Afrikaner students, the white Afrikaner students were never testing HIV. And there's a myth that white Afrikaner students don't have HIV. So a white journalist got me 262 young people, white Afrikaner students, tested HIV within 3 months of him airing a program which he used to dialogue young people. So we need those innovative ways. We need what youth wants. If youth wants comical ways, then let's engage them in a comical way, but addressing the issues of what leads to HIV/AIDS, why they're vulnerable. And I think that's where we need to be emphasizing. Social media, mass media, communication, funny, make health entertaining. Don't stigmatize health. Don't say HIV. We started by bringing non-communicable diseases, blood pressure, sugar, cholesterol. We started seeing HIV becoming more uptake of young people. Just for the mere fact young people did not stigmatize themselves with the word called HIV. So you play with them, you enjoy, make them feel health is important for them. Make them own it.
Fascinating insight. Dr. Ramneek Aluwalia is the country director for higher education, AIDS, HIV and AIDS program right here in South Africa. Indeed, it is a fascinating discussion that we had, and giving us a greater insight into what needs to happen right here at the 21st International AIDS Conference in Durban in order to take this fight against HIV and AIDS forward. It's back to you, Natasha.
Thank you, Blain. Blain Herman, live from the 21st AIDS Conference in Durban.